What's up? What's good? It's your boy, Tommy Springfield, aka That Fly on the Wall, aka King of All Things Talk, TV, radio, internet. It don't matter if you from the suburbs, if you from the hood, whether you at the barber shop, whether you at the hair salon. I don't care if you speak English, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese. Doesn't matter what language you speak. We got you covered over here. It's only a few types of talk we don't do. We definitely don't talk hate. We definitely don't pillow talk, and we definitely don't be talking to no law enforcement. So if you new here, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these real ass videos. And today we doing something different. This is season 1, episode 1 of What Happened When. So you're probably saying, Tommy, but before we get into any of me explaining, there's one thing I always ask, and that's, can I talk to you? I don't think you heard me. I said, can I talk to you? So, as we move forward, this is a series that I told you was coming. What happened when? What happened when certain things happen in the past or in history you might have heard of. Maybe you heard about when Will B got shot, but you never knew what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened when Will B got shot. Maybe you heard about a shootout that happened at the movie theater in West Springfield back in the day when Boys in the Hood came out. What happened when they shot up the movie theaters? I'm going to tell you that story. Maybe you heard about your favorite tough guy gangster getting beat up by the little homies. Or maybe you heard about your favorite tough guy gangster getting beat up by his girlfriend. I was there, and it just don't stop or start with dudes from my neighborhood. I was there when Reggie Whitler knocked Moose eye out of his head. I was there when Gay J showed little JR he wasn't so gay. So I got many stories to tell, and you're probably saying, Tommy, why are you telling these stories? I'm telling these stories because I've been the realest dude you can ever be out here. I was there for dudes when dudes got locked up and they called collect. I accepted that call. I was there for dudes that couldn't rap for girls, and I got them girls. There's one dude out there that got like 4 baby mamas. They all knew me first, so he met all 4 of his baby mamas through me. He got beautiful kids because of me. I've been playing God out here, and I thought I was appreciated, and dudes really didn't appreciate me. So it's my right. You know, people take shots at you, and it's because they want you to crash out. They take shots at you because they want you to do something stupid. They want you to act dumb, act crazy, and guess what? As soon as you do, they gonna point at you and say, he did it, and you gonna be in prison, and they gonna be sitting back winning. So instead of crashing out and acting stupid and talking crazy on Facebook, I choose. My grandmother told me one thing when I was young. She said, dogs get mad, humans get even. So I choose to tell all my stories. I choose to show that, you know, people ain't out here real. And I know in my intro I said I don't speak hate, but you know what? I'm the biggest hater. You know what I'm saying? I hate fake ass Negroes. I hate that cornballs is winning. I hate that dudes be fronting like they tough guys. I hate that dudes really ain't real out here. So yeah, I'm a hater, and today I'm gonna separate the real from the fake. Going forward, we gonna see who real, we gonna see who fake, we gonna see who is there for each other. So now it's time to get the paperwork cracking, and I know some of y'all like, Tommy, how we know it's true, how we know you know. That's how I goddamn know. So, like I said, get your tea, get your blunts, get all your stuff ready, because Tommy ready to show y'all what it is. So today, we on what happened when they raided 37 Chester Street. So I gotta set the scene. It's 2010. We can take it back to 2009. I think my brother had just got sentenced for his first case where he tussled with the police and he had all type of drugs on him. That's another story that we'll talk about later. But the trial just was over, and I was going to the trial, and JC Jr. was going to the trial, and I really wasn't hanging out. I just did a bid and I wasn't hanging out. But JC Jr. said to me, like me and him have said to each other over the years, and you will see, man, you playing. You need to come down here and get this money. His aunt at the time had lived on Chester Street. So I was like, fuck it, I might as well go back to my hood and get this money. So I goes back to the hood, get the money. Now, at this time, nobody was out there. Prior to going to jail, little bro used to be out there. Ranger Danger used to be out there getting things rolling, having things going. But prior to him going to jail, wasn't nobody out there. So me, JC Jr. is out there, and we got whack ass K all day, fuck K all day, sucker ass nigga. But that's another nigga I did shit for, and I ain't never gonna give him respect for it ever again in my life, because I did shit for him and he tried to run with the sucker ass niggas. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But so it's me, JC Jr., K all day, and CCG, another dude I need to have a conversation with, because that's supposed to be my big homie, and he's supposed to be a true G, and we used to sit on the phone for hours and talk about things and talk about people and talk about people mamas. But then I see you with the people. I don't know, bro. I'm not saying nothing, but I know I'm real when I stand on what I say. If I say F niggas, it's F niggas. I don't say F niggas to the next nigga and then go back and be with those niggas. That just ain't real to me. Not saying anybody do that. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm 100% real. If I say dudes is cornballs, they cornballs, and that's where they gonna stay. We ain't never gonna hang together again. That's where they gonna stay. So for all those dudes who like to be on the phone and talk about other dudes and hang with them, I'm just questioning your gangster. But anyway, so as you can see, we got the paperwork on the screen, and this is season 1, episode 1 of what happened. So I was painting the scene. It was me, JC Jr., CCG, and K all day. Wasn't nobody else out there. We out there every day. K all day, bitch ass K all day. All he got is bud. He hustling bud, and it's the dirt bud, the bottom of the barrel bud, and I'ma call it the sympathy pack. It was so garbage, we used to just buy it just cuz, and he knew it was garbage, and he would give us a bunch of it. So, boom. So he would be out there pushing his bud, and it was to a point where he was making more money than us, because it was slow. We was just starting it up. And, I'm not afraid to say it. All the work was coming from JC Jr. I was just moving the work. But let me speed the story up. It got to a point where, it was popping. And now all the other dudes trying to come with that, like just stay hood. But, when Tommy and Power, either I'm going to eat with you or you ain't going to get no money. And dudes wasn't giving me the respect of getting the block going. So I chose not to let dudes eat. So we started having auntie tell dudes, they couldn't hang in their yard. And dudes used to be mad, especially this one dude used to be mad, and they used to hang out across the street from the spot and try to stop plays. And if any parts of these stories you think I'm lying, you can go ask bitch ass K. You can go ask JC Jr. You can go ask CC3. Frit was out there with us. That was another dude I didn't mind eating because Frit was always a respectful dude. You know what I'm saying? And Frit wasn't rude about his shit. And that's just one of them dudes I never had no issues with. But everybody know Tommy was running the block. If Tommy was there, you wasn't eating. And people used to be mad. You know, some of them dudes that y'all think, oh, that's Tommy, man. Tommy, they tight. And they been together for 20 years. Yo, those dudes used to be mad and those dudes used to be hating. That's why I don't mess with them now. I got tired of the fake shit. I got tired of the, this dude sleeping with this dude girl and we supposed to be brothers and I'm just supposed to accept it. Here's one thing people don't think about. If Red sleep with Blue girl, you think he ain't looking at your girl? You that stupid? So ain't nobody friends. But boom, like I said, nobody couldn't eat. Dudes was doing dumb things. Dudes was serving undercovers. There's a story I can tell you of a dude. There was two bald-headed dudes. One bald-headed dude served the undercover. I can tell you who the undercover was. The undercover was in a Cherokee. I told the dude, yo, don't serve that dude. I don't know that dude. But once again, dudes couldn't eat, so we served the dude. Now, the two bald-headed dudes, they walk up the street. Right? This was a week before I go to St. Louis. They walk up the street. The cops come, they grab one bald-headed dude. Now, one bald-headed dude who served undercover, he denies it was him. But they took the other bald-headed dude to the police station. The undercover buyer looked at him and said, that's not the one. There was only one other bald-headed dude on the street. So, in this paperwork, you're going to see they said, I served the undercover 3 times, right? But not possible. Why? Because at this time I was getting money. I was running around. I was sleeping with everybody. I was sleeping with Jennifer from up in Vermont. I had just met Kim. I flew down to St. Louis to meet Michelle. Like, I was on top of my game. I was getting bread. Nobody else can get bread but me. And I was laying up. I was doing the thing. So, boom. Now, we fast forward. I leave. I go to St. Louis. On the day I come back from St. Louis 2-3 weeks later, they raid talking about I served 3 people. Not possible, because one person, I just told you a little short story, brief story, he served the undercover. And then the other 2 times that the undercover was served, I was in St. Louis, so it wasn't even possible. But me being the real dude I am, I took the charge. See, they don't tell you that. I took the charge because I'm Tommy Real Ninja. You feel me? When the police kick the door in, I say it's all mine. You feel me? And let's be honest, I had just got back from St. Louis. I didn't have no work. Let's be honest. You can ask Kay. Someone said to me, hold this work, Tommy. I got somebody coming for it. And the person was adamant about me not selling the work because the person know they would give me the work and I would just sell it to my peoples. I'm not waiting for none of your peoples to come. I'm going to get rid of it. The object is to get rid of it. Why do you care where the money come from? But this person was very adamant about not getting rid of the work. And you can ask K bitch ass all day. He was there. We discussed it 1,000 times. He know. The person was so adamant about me not getting the work. The person left and called me and was like, yo, you still got the work? I'm like, yeah. He was like, all right, because I got somebody coming for it. The next people that came was the police. Was the goddamn police. And this paperwork is the end results. And I tried to be nice. There was a female in this paperwork. I took her name out. And if I slipped up and I missed her name anywhere in the paperwork, I'm sorry. But let's get into this paperwork. Let's get into season 1. Let's get into episode 1 of what happened when they raided 37 Chester Street. So right now, as you can see on the screen, we got the affidavit, official police paperwork, signed by Officer John Wildacre, which is the Cricket Eye cop. He was my own personal cop since like 2007. He caught me and I had the Jamaican judge and I beat the case. And ever since then, this cop been on my ass. So let's get into it. This is his motion for a search warrant. This is what he's claiming. I have the following information based upon the attached affidavits consisting of a total of 4 pages, which are incorporated herein by reference. Based upon this information, there is probable cause to believe that the property described below is intended for use or has been used as the means of committing crime. You know what? I think we need to pause for a minute.
You know we had to get the hooligans up here. We're gonna take the pussy nigga out. Yo, Dot, I got you. Can't stop, won't stop. I just fucked your bitch in a Sean John tank top. Treat a bad bitch like she average. I treat a bad bitch like a fat bitch. She'll never let me get money again. Average. I treat a bad. Can't stop, won't stop. I just fucked your bitch in a Tommy Smalls tank top. Treat a bad bitch like she average.
I treat your baby mama like bitch is average.
On my Cat Williams when they get funny again. Yeah, you see they tried to count me out. I like that. We just hit a #1. We right back down on the bottom, 500 up at the top. Titanium grill, call that smile on the rocks. I done had everything that you're able to get. I invented drill too. I ain't gonna lie, it was chops. Hey, another one.
Yo.
Vultures on repeat. Still feel like Pablo, drug dealer sheep. Pluto sent the drones, a hit like Metro Beats. Rap for niggas. Where's Lucien? Serve your master, nigga. You caught a little bag for your masters, didn't you? Lifetime deal, I feel bad for niggas. Y'all so out of sight,
Out of mind.
I can't even think of a Drake line. Play J. Cole, get the pussy dry. Play this shit back 130 times.
Young dope dealer selling dope, bitch, you like that? Kicking those, kicking in dope.
Alright, so I got that out my system. I got my tea. I got my, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications. Why not? It only hurts me and never hurts you. So, what happened when they raided 37 Chester Street? So as you can see, this is official paperwork signed by John Wildacre, position police officer. This is him looking to get a search warrant for what was going on at 37 Chester Street. He believed that it is intended for use or has been used as the means of committing the crime, has been concealed to prevent a crime from being discovered, is unlawful possession or concealed for an unlawful purpose, is evidence of a crime or is evidence of criminal activity. I am seeking the issuance of a warrant to search the following property. Describe the property to be searched for as particular as possible. Cocaine, A Class B substance as defined in Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 94C, together with all paraphernalia used in packaging, distribution, or use of same. Also, all monies as evidenced by cash, bank book, safety deposit keys, or other instruments showing the deposit of funds in the Commercial Banking Institute. Also, all personal papers showing the true identity of the documents and or other drug-related materials. We also wish to search furniture, appliances, wall panels, food containers, or other places where the above items might be hidden. Based upon this information, there's also a probable cause to believe that the property may be found at They checked as many as apply at identity, the exact location or description of the places to be searched. 37 Chester Street in the city of Springfield, Mass. The address is described as a side-by-side duplex-style home. The address has vinyl siding and is white in color and red front entry doors and red shutters. The number 37 is clearly marked near the front entry door to the address. The address I wish to search occupies the right side. 35 is located on the left side. Tom, a black male, 5'3" to 5'6", 140 to 170 pounds, short, scruffy hair, 25 to 30 years old. At that time, that description matched everybody that be at that house. 5'3" to 5'6", 140 to 170, 25 to 30. That match Pimp. I forgot Pimp was in this case. That match Pimp. That match K bitch ass. That match JC Jr. That match CCG. And that match every dude there. But, you know, we gonna roll with it. And of course, these are the things they found in the raid. You know, 3 bags of crack cocaine, 8 grams, 300 cash, digital scale, whatever, baking soda, razors, cell phones, house fee, you know. These are things was made in the presence of Sergeant Ambrose. As you see, 11/23/10/1835 is the time. Date sworn and subscribed to 1/19/11. Because this is after the raid. They just show it. Okay, here's the affidavit. In the support of application for search warrant. This is what he gave. This was his story of what happened on why he wanted to raid. My name is John Weilegger, and I'm employed by the city of Springfield as a police officer. I've been a police officer approximately for 15 years and have been assigned to the Narcotics Bureau since August of 2002. In addition to my municipal police academy training and the annual in-service training which I attend, I have completed approximately 250 hours of specialized training involving narcotics investigations, including an 80-hour course and a 40-hour course sponsored by Drug Enforcement Administration and Narcotics Enforcement Officers Association. The remainder of my training I received through several other smaller law enforcement agency training programs. Throughout my career, I have participated in the arrest of several hundred narcotics offenders, the majority which have resulted in convictions in the Springfield District Court and the Hannibal County Superior Court. The investigations which led to these arrests utilized investigative techniques such as undercover purchases by police officers, executions of search warrants, so-called by-bus operations, and street-level drug interactions. During this training experience, I have observed numerous types of controlled substances and familiar with paraphernalia associated with these substances. I am also familiar with the ways in which these controlled substances are commonly packaged and with the price charged for controlled substances or with the I don't know that word, jargon associated with the sale and use. During my assignment, the Narcotics Bureau, I have applied for and been issued approximately 70 district court search warrants. Based on my training experience, I wish to make the following application. For the past 2 months, members of the Narcotics Bureau and I have been conducting an investigation on the sale of crack cocaine from 37 Chester Street. Black male known as Tom. I begin this case after speaking to a confidential and reliable informant. Let's say that again. I begin this case after speaking to a confidential and reliable informant. By the term confidential and reliable informant, I'm referring to a subject that has given me information in the past that resulted in the arrest of 10 or more subjects in the seizure of cocaine, marijuana, heroin, and several handguns. The arrest of these subjects involved several different cases over an extended period of time. At least 5 of these subjects was found or pleaded guilty in the Hampden County court system. The CRI being used in the furtherance of this case must remain anonymous to protect his or her personal safety, as well as his or her continued usefulness to members of the Narcotics Bureau, and are from here on after will be referred to as CRI, confidential, reliable informant. So, if you following me so far, they're alleging they had a confidential, reliable informant, right? I'm calling bullshit. Why? Because some of these things this person is gonna allege are lies. You know, this is just a uniform that they write up for every case. If you get all the drug dealers that got caught around this time, their paperwork word for word is gonna say this. It's just going to change out the different addresses, the different names, the different heights, the different numbers. But it's basically going to say this. But let's continue. The CRI states for the past 2 months, black male named Tom, who lives at 37 Chester, has been selling crack cocaine from the address. The CRI describes Tom as a black male, 5'3" to 5'6", 140 to 170 pounds, short scruffy hair, approximately 25 to 30 years old. The CRI states that Tom uses cell phone number 263-9856 to arrange his narcotic sales with his potential. States that Tom uses cell phone. With his potential customers. The CR states that he knows this information concerning Tom. Right. So now, as you can see, they say I live at 37 Chester. That's a lie. At this point, damn, I forgot her when I was naming all the girls. At this point, if I'm correct, I was living with Chanel up in Forest Park. I was going to her house every night, or I was going to my mama's house every night, or I was going to the chick on the block house every night. Just say her name is Jay. We're not going to say her name. But, so, and I was dealing with Erica at the time. Sheesh, this was a good year, I tell you. But, so, it says the CR states that he knows this information concerning Tom because he or she has purchased cocaine directly from Tom on several different dates over the past 3 weeks from within this address. Here's what's interesting about that. I was gone for the past 3 weeks. Once again, if you think I'm lying, you can ask JC Jr., you could ask Michelle. She follows me on Facebook. She's from St. Louis. I was down in St. Louis visiting her. I wasn't there to serve no undercovers. But let's continue to read. The CRI states that he or she has been present when other subjects has brought cocaine from Tom from inside the address. Another lie. That was not my spot. The truth of the matter is, that was JC Jr.'s spot. That was his aunt's house. That was not my spot. I've never sold drugs inside that house unless I sold drugs to someone in that house that used those drugs. So, if the CRI is one of those people, someone I served inside that house, that lived at that house, or one of said person's friends, yes, they got me. But that only means one of the people that lived in that house, or one of the people that lived in that house friends, was the CRI. I'm not saying that. I'm just reading the paper. I'm telling you what the paper said. I've never made no transactions in that house. I was in the driveway. And when you see later on in this paperwork, there was a Jaguar in the driveway right there. I served all around that, in that, and never in the house, though. The CR states during the sales, The CR states during the past sales, he or she seen Tom in the possession of crack cocaine on his person inside his waist area in a plastic bag. CRI states that Tom usually keeps a large chunk of crack of cocaine on his person, that he ships smaller increments off his larger chunk for customers. The CRI further states that Tom also uses a gray Jaguar sedan to make deliveries of cocaine throughout the city. The CRI states this vehicle has New York tags on the vehicle. So, that was somewhat of a lie, too. Yes, there was a Jaguar sedan in that driveway that was conveniently moved the day of the raid. That Jaguar was moved the day of the raid conveniently. I say that again. That was one of the first things they asked for when they kicked the door in. Where is the car? Where is the car? But I didn't really used to drive that car to make deliveries. I used to drive that car to Six Corners. That's when they first got Dunkin' Donuts to get coffee and put gas in it, because through the winter I would sit in the car in the driveway. So they lied a little bit about that. They're 100% correct. I used to keep the work down in my pants on the side of my nuts with my nuts cover it. So if the police took a quick look, they would never see it or find it. Right? So some of it's right, some of it's true. After receiving this information, I attempted to identify Tom through normal investigation means, but was unsuccessful. I used several different sources of information, but was unsuccessful in locating his true identity. So I was a mystery to these motherfuckers, right? But if he served me 3 times, if I served undercovers 3 times, why was I such a mystery? Because I ain't never served the goddamn undercovers. I was too smart for that shit. The dummies who couldn't get no money and who was desperate and used to be on the outside of the premises, they served the police. Now, when I left, that was before I left. Now, when I left to St. Louis for those couple weeks, I do not know who served the undercover. So during the week of October 31st, 2010, I spoke to the CRI and asked him or her to make a controlled buy from Tom from 37 Chester Street, and the CRI agreed. Before the buy, the CRI would search for currency and or contraband with negative results. I then gave the CRI an amount of Springfield SPD pre-recorded buy money. CRI then contacted Tom via his phone and asked for an amount of cocaine, and Tom told him or her to respond to the address and that he would sell him or her the requested cocaine. The CRI proceeded to the location under mobile surveillance by Detective Solar and I. Upon his arrival, Detective Templeman observed the CI walked into the address through the front door entry, which is another lie, because people did not call me and come in that house, period. If someone called me and I was inside that house, I would go outside. Once again, that was not my spot to have people come in and serve. The only people I ever served in that house was either the people that lived there or friends of the people that lived there. So, therefore, either the people that lived there was the CRI or friends of the person that lived there. I'm not saying this, I'm not alleging this, I'm just telling you what the paperwork is saying. But I'm also telling you the paperwork is lying a little bit. Right? It's mixed with lies, it's mixed with truth. The CRI proceeded to the location under mobile surveillance by Detective Solar, and upon his arrival, Detective Templeton observed the CRI walked into the address through the front door. A short time later, Detective Templeton observed the CRI exit the front door and exit the area. I maintained the surveillance of the CRI, and he or she then proceeded directly to the prearranged location and met with me. The CRI then turned over an amount of cocaine directly directly to me. I then searched the CRI person for contraband or currency with negative results. The CRI states that he or she met with Tom inside 37 Chester Street and purchased an amount of cocaine from him in exchange for an amount of SPD buy money. CRI states while inside the address, he or she observed additional cocaine packaged for sale inside the kitchen on the table. The CRI further states that 2 other subjects entered the address and purchased cocaine from Tom. Detective Templeton later confirmed that 2 other customers were also seen entering the address while the CRI was present inside during the course of surveillance. Detective Templeton also observed a gray Jaguar parked in the driveway of the address toward the rear of the address. After speaking to the CRI, I returned to the target address and observed 2 subjects standing in the driveway of the target address. One of the subjects matched Tom's physical description provided by the CRI. So, here's why some of this is full of shit. Because if you've seen 2 subjects in the driveway and he says one matched the description, if you know K and if you know Pimp, if you know JC Jr., if you know CCG, any of them standing next to me fits the physical description of Tom. Any of them. So for him just to say one subject matched Tom's physical description was full of shit. It was full of shit. And here's another thing that was full of shit. Met with Tom inside 37 Chester and has purchased cocaine and seen other people walk in. Now, how do you know the other press, the officer on the outside? How do you know they customers? How do you know they don't live there? How do you know they ain't family and friends? You don't know that. Y'all just making up shit. And the CRI was making up shit if one even exists because I never made sales in there. Now, there was somebody that used to make sales in there. There was somebody that used to cook drugs in there. There was somebody that used to have stuff on the table. But it wasn't me, babe. It wasn't me. But let's move on. I spoke to the CRI and asked him or her to make a controlled buy within the past 48 hours. This was the day before the raid. So within the past 48 hours, I wasn't even in town yet. I'm still in St. Louis. Because I come back from the St. Louis basically the day of the raid, if I'm correct. Within the past 48 hours, I spoke to the CRI and asked him or her to make a controlled buy from Tom, and the CRI agreed. Before the buy, the CRI was searched for currency, blah, 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 negative results. I then gave the CRI an amount of SPD pre-recorded buy money. The CRI then contacted Tom via his cell phone and asked for an amount of cocaine. And Tom told him or her to respond to the address and that he would sell him or her cocaine. The CRI then proceeded to the location under mobile surveillance by me, exerted CRIs into the front door. A short time later, served the CI, lead the address, and then I maintained surveillance of the CRI, and she proceeded directly to the prearranged location. Did I already read this? No, it's really just a warrant. I then searched the CRI person for contraband or currency with negative results. CRI says that he entered it and once inside purchased an amount of cocaine from him in exchange for an amount of money. States that he observed approximately a golf ball size amount of cocaine on Tom person during the sale. After meeting with the CRI, Detective Templeton remained on the scene and continued the surveillance of the address. During the time frame, he observed 5 subjects arrive at the address and enter. A short time later, these subjects exited the area. Detective Templeton informed me that 3 of these subjects arrived on foot and the remaining 2 arrived in a vehicle. This type of activity is consistent with customers making a purchase at a drug distribution location. Based on the aforementioned information, I feel that it is probable cause to believe that cocaine, a Class B substance as defined, blah, 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 is being illegally kept for sale at 37 Chester in the city of Springfield. The address is described as side-by-side duplex-style home. The address has vinyl siding, is white in color, red entry front doors, yada, yada, yada. With this in mind, I asked for a warrant. So As you heard, those are the things he talked about and said to get his warrant. So let's move on. It's been an opposite experience that narcotics may be hidden inside walls, appliances, clothing, moldings, furniture, secret compartments, etc. For those reasons, I request to search anywhere inside the address where narcotics may be hidden. Due to the fact that customers enter the apartment to purchase cocaine and the fact that cocaine can be easily concealed or consumed by human beings, I respectfully request to search all persons present at the time the warrant is served. I also request to search all persons due to the fact that during this investigation, I learned that the target supplies customers, and I can't predict who may be present at the time of the execution, and customers may be present inside and in the possession of cocaine and currency used to purchase their drugs. This warrant is for 37 Chester in the city of Springfield, Mass. Due to my assigned hours of duty, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., I respectfully request permission to execute this warrant during the nighttime hours if necessary. So, here's one thing I keep forgetting to mention. They claim to have given the CIA marked money. But when I go to court to fight these cases, they don't have no marked money. And just know that I always represent myself. So, they didn't have the cases. They didn't have the marked money. But in your warrant, you allege you had 3 controlled buys with Springfield police marked money. But when I say to them in motions, well, where's this marked money? Because it should have been tagged in back. Oh, we're not charging you with those crimes of serving the undercover, so we don't have to produce the marked money. One of the reasons why I ended up comping out and getting such low numbers, because when I first started this case, they was up into the 7-year mark, 5-year mark, and I ended up doing a year because the case was all messed up, and I could have beat the shit, but I probably would have sat another year trying to beat it. But when I finally comped out, I went home in 2-3 months, so it was smart to comp out, but I could have beat this case easily. Hold on. Where we going? So let's move on. So this is the criminal complaint. Marcus Everhart, Springfield, Mass. As you can see, I was charged with drug possession to distribute Class B drug possession near School Park. The officer, John Weilager, Julio Toledo. As you can see, all my information, my height, my tattoos. Oh yeah, it's real. My mama name, my daddy name, drug possession, drug violation. What they found, crack 3 bags, 8 grams, value $450. U.S. currency, $300. Okay, so this right here is his narrative of what happened the day of the raid, right? So let me set a scene. I just came back from St. Louis. I ain't got no work. It's two or 3 days before Thanksgiving, and it's funny because I'm sitting there telling K bitch ass nigga all day. I'm telling this dude like, yo, bro, I made it. And he like, what you mean you made it? I'm like, yo, I'm always locked up on Thanksgiving and Christmas. I said, Thanksgiving is in 2 days. I made it, bro. And Auntie, she taking out turkey. She like kind of fucking with the crib, getting it ready for Thanksgiving. And little did I know, 5 minutes later, they kicked the door in. I never made it to goddamn Thanksgiving. But like I said, we sitting there. I'm telling them, yo, I made it. I'm always locked up before Thanksgiving, yada, yada, yada. You know, Now, remember, I just got back from St. Louis. I didn't have work. Someone said, hold this work. I got somebody coming for it. The funny thing is, him, JC Jr. and Kay left. I remember like it was yesterday. They left. JC Jr. was supposed to be going to his girls to go out to eat with his girl. But let me remind you, earlier in the day, JC Jr. had a court case and he came from court. And when he came from court, I'm just giving y'all the scene. I'm not accusing nobody or nothing, but I really don't give a fuck because niggas act like they don't fuck with me. That's cool because Tommy been there for everybody. But so JC Jr. had a court case that day. And long story short, he got some time and had to stay up execution or whatever happened. But when he came back that day, his whole concern was to move to Jaguar. And as you can see in the video, earlier in the video, they were looking for the Jaguar because they had every expectations of taking that Jaguar. But conveniently on that day, after court, that man came straight from court and moved that Jaguar. Now, I'm not making up shit. I've talked to this with bitch ass K all day. I've talked to this with Cheech. They know that car conveniently was moved the day of the raid. I'm not accusing nobody or nothing. That's up to you, the watcher. You decide. I'm just giving you the facts. And like I always say, if anybody mad that I'm doing this, don't get mad just yet. Because there's more cases I'm going to read. I got cases from all over the place. Not just Massachusetts, Eddie, Worcester, down south, up north. I got cases from everywhere. And I'm going to read them all. Why? Because dudes act like they don't fuck with me. Dudes had time to reach out and say, yo, I don't side with them dudes. I'm not with them dudes. Dudes out here believing internet shit. Okay, so I'm going to put facts on the internet so people could read them and see them. So, boom, now I'm telling Kay, yo. So Kay and them, they leave. But within 5-10 minutes, Kay is right back. And I'm like, Kay, I thought y'all was leaving. And he's like, I don't know. Nigga dropped me off. And he drops K off and he leaves. Within 2-3 minutes, he can't be nowhere but at the bottom of the street. He calls and say, yo, you still got that. You ain't get rid of it, right? Because I got somebody coming with it. There's witnesses to all of this. So if people want to say whatever and get upset, these are the facts. What? Motherfuckers don't want the truth out? Motherfucker call me and say, you still got that? Don't get rid of it because I got somebody coming. Right? Within 5-10 minutes of that call, we see Pimp come running in the back door. We see the female that's involved in this case. She was more harder than the niggas. She's at the door struggling to keep the door closed. Don't know. We like, what the fuck going on? Pimp came running in. And she tried to close the door and slam it. Pip runs straight to the bathroom. Next thing you know, you hear boom, 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 boom. Police door comes down. And boom. Now we read. On November 23rd, 2010, at approximately 18:35 hours, Sergeant M. Ambrose, Detective Bridge, Detective Kalas, Detective Templeton, Detective Lotos, Detective Solar, OFC J. Walters, Narcotics Task Force Officer Latender, and I executed a search warrant at 37 Chester Street, pursuing the arrest of the following 3 suspects. Marcus Eberhardt of 37 Chester Street. I did not live at the goddamn 37 Chester Street. Gary O'Neill of 284 Denver Street, Springfield, Mass. O'Neill and Eberhardt are charged with the following offenses: possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, violation of drug-free school zone. The third subject was identified as the female, which I nicely took her name out. Nicely. She said some incriminating things about me, but I nicely took her name out because I'm never mad at her. That's my best friend. Our birthdays is on the same day, and I love her. That's my homie. To the wheels motherfucking fall off. And I got love for her family and her kids. That's why I took her name out. The third subject was identified as blank of 37 Chester Street, Springfield, Mass. Date of birth, same as mine. Not the same year, but the same day. Was charged with the following arrest warrant. Springfield District Court, straight warrant, failure to stop, refusal to produce ID, operation with a suspended license, operating a motor vehicle. For the past 2 months, members of the Narcotics Bureau and I have been investigating the sale of crack cocaine from inside of 37 Chester Street by a black male with the street name of Tom. I initiated this investigation after speaking with a confidential and reliable informant. Now, here's some insight. A lot of people want you to believe this is informant. It's this girl named Ann from Hickory Street, and she got brothers. And they want you to believe Ann is the informant. But if I'm being honest, I just never believed Ann was an informant. But I'm gonna keep it 100% real. Remember, I was just back from St. Louis. I always gotta paint the scene. And I did have a little bit of work, right? And plus the work that the other person gave me, but the work the other person gave me was put on the table. He said, here, hold this. I got somebody coming from, to this day, I've never picked it up off the table. It sat on the table. Boom. So, the work sat there on the table. And Ann did call that day, right? Ann called me and was like, yo, I need a 40. And at this time, I was high and mighty. I didn't take nothing less than $50. So I said, come on, man. You know, I only do 50s and up. And she was like, oh, please, please. I was like, all right, Ann, I got you. No, be real. Ann came. And when Ann came, she said, yo, you gonna be mad. I'm like, why, Ann? What the fuck, Ann? You know I don't play games. You know I don't get up at 50. She's like, I ain't got the money I told you I had. I'm like, come on, Ann, stop playing games. She's like, nah, I got 100. And she spent it. Now, people might take that and say, oh, yeah, she was an informant. Listen, if she was an informant, she ain't coming and playing games. She wouldn't have played with her number. She would have told the police, I exactly got $50. This dude only takes 50. So she wouldn't have called, and they wouldn't allow her to play no games. Because what if I would have hung up and said, I ain't serving you because you got 40? That would have blew their situation. Right? Boom. And you will see why I feel it wasn't her. Right? And when I got out of jail 2 years later, Ann wanted to talk to me. But I just never spoke to her. Ann was sending me messages like, yo, Tommy, I set people up, but I didn't set you up. Why would she want to talk to me when she's a known rat? She set other people up. And why she gonna want to talk to the dude she set up? She wanted to clear her name, and I 100% believe Ann didn't do it. Here's another person I served that day right before the raid. I served my man Cook, God bless his soul. Cook brother-in-law used to come and comp from me. I served him that day, right? So, I did serve people. But in my heart, I'm 100% sure those people wasn't the police. Like, I ended up seeing Cook brother-in-law in jail after this, months after this. And I just played it sweet just to see where his head is. And, man, he had no idea I went to jail the day I served him. He had no clue. So, I don't believe it was Ann. I don't believe it was him, right? So, let's get back to the story. For the past 2 months, members of the Narcotics Bureau and I have been investigating the sale of crack cocaine from inside 37 Chester Street by a black male with the street name of Tom. I initiated this investigation after being used in presence of this case as proof The CR being used in further use of this case is proven reliable and has proven information in the past to members of the Narcotics Bureau and I involved in several different cases. As a result of this information, at least 10 or more subjects have been arrested, and cocaine, firearms, and heroin was seized during their arrest. Several of these subjects had plead or were found guilty in the Hampton County court system. For the remainder of the report, I will refer to the informant as CRI. CRI states that a black male with the nickname of Tom has been selling crack cocaine from 37 Chester Street. Described Tom as a black male, approximately 5'3" to 5'5", 140, and uses the phone number. After receiving the information, I attempted to identify Tom using normal investigation means, but also was successful. I then made a number of control buys from Tom directly from 37 Chester Street using the above mentioned CRI during the buys. Detective Turner observed additional foot and vehicle traffic coming and going from the address consistent with narcotics distribution point during the buys. Tom sold cocaine directly to the CRI from within the address, and one of the control buys I observed a black male subject later identified on today's date as Marcus Ebar standing in front of the address. Now, here's a funny thing, how when things are meant to be. So, right before they kicked this door in, I was dealing with this girl. We gonna call her Erica, a.k.a. Betty Boop, because we used to call her Betty Boop. You know, these Spanish people got this thing with Betty Boop. So, she was begging to go out to eat with me. Can we go do something? Can we go do something? But I kept saying, nah, because I was trying to make a couple dollars. Like I said, I just got back from St. Louis, so I was just trying to make a couple dollars so I can get Bud. You know, the girl Jay that lived on the block, she was expecting me to come over. I needed to buy some alcohol and shit for her. So, like, I just had mad things going on. And Erica was like, you want to get up? And I'm like, nah. But she was like, I got to go to school, so we can't get up anyway. So she went to school, but then she ended up calling me and being like, yo, I went to school and we had the night off, so you want to go out? And I'm still like giving her the runaround. If I'm correct, she was parked on the block after they kicked the door in. I ended up telling her to come, but it was too late. And prior to that, the chick Jay that I was messing with on the block, that dude told me, oh, leave her alone, don't mess with her. But when I went to jail, everybody wanted to mess with her. She was on her way. She was walking down the block. She seen the door get kicked in. So, and I had some clothes that I had left at Auntie crib, and Auntie was telling me, yo, take these clothes. Now, if I'd have just took the clothes, walked down the street to Shorty crib and brung the clothes there, I wouldn't be here. I mean, I wouldn't have had this case, but it was funny. God just wanted me to sit down for a reason, you know, because I had several options to leave that situation. But based on the information gathered, I applied for and was issued a search warrant for 37 Chester, listing Tom with the same physical description mentioned above as the sole target of the warrant. The warrant was issued on today's date by District Court Clerk R. Miriano at approximately 17 hours. I was contacted by the CRI and informed by him or her that Tom was present and was selling cocaine from within the address. Based on this information, Sergeant Ambrose and I made plans to execute the warrant. Our preparation, I briefed all officers involved about the parameters of the warrant and the address and physical description of the target. Sergeant Ambrose then directed Detective Templeman to proceed to the address to conduct surveillance. Upon his arrival, Detective Templeton observed a black female, later identified as blank, sitting just inside the open front door of the address. He also observed that several lights were illuminated within the apartment while watching the address for approximately 10 minutes. Detective Templeton observed 3 separate subjects enter the address to the front door and then leave minutes later. At this time, based on the activity, the decision was made to proceed to address and execute the warrant. Now, the people he seen coming on was K, JC Jr., because they left and they came back. Pimp was running in and out. So they're labeling them customers, but they wasn't customers. They was just part of the show. At this time, based on the activity, the decision was made to proceed to the address and execute the warrant. A team of detectives under the direction of Sergeant Ambrose proceeded to the address to execute the warrant. Sergeant Ambrose, Detective Templeton, Detective Lopez, and Detective whatever, Torsky, were also assigned to the front door. Detective Big Dud, Detective Kalous, Detective Linder, and I were assigned to the rear door. Upon our arrival, the rear team approached the rear door and knocked on the door and announced loudly, "Police search warrant." At this time, Detective Brewer and I observed a black male, later identified as O'Neill, flee towards a room out of our view. Now, that's not true because they couldn't see through the goddamn door. But Pimp did run through the front door, which is O'Neill, who later turned out to be a bad seed. He could have been the foreman at the time because he later turned out to get Frankie, and they all turned out to be agents, and those are other stories that I'm going to tell later. I got the E-Money paperwork. I got everybody paperwork. We going to read it all. Based on his flight, we forced entry into the address. Once inside, the Detective Kalash and I secured M. Eberhardt and Kenneth Smith, bitch ass K, all day, sitting at the kitchen table. I told y'all we were sitting at the table, and I'm telling this nigga, yo, I'm happy, man. I'm gonna make it to Thanksgiving. Detective Burr secured O'Neill inside the bathroom as he attempted to flush a bag of cocaine, 2 grams of crack cocaine, in the toilet. O'Neill was secured after a brief struggle on the bathroom floor. The bag of cocaine was later recovered by Detective Kalash. As this was taking place, the front team made entry and secured Blank inside the living room area without incident. So that's the female. They secured her in the living room. So I gotta paint the scene. They kicked the door in. I've never been in the rain in my life. I'm sweating to death. Ask K, bitch ass. He'll tell you. I'm sweating to death, right? I'm sweating so much. Police is like, yo, you all right? Did you swallow something? Yeah, tell us because, you know, if you swallow something, you can die. And, you know, yeah, they're like, yeah, I think this fat fuck swallowed something. Boom. So, if you've been around, Mr. O'Neill used to tell all these stories on how he run from police and he beat police up and he do this. Well, his dumb ass ran in the crib. If he didn't run in the crib, technically by law, they couldn't kick the door in. They had a warrant where they had to knock. So, if he didn't run in the house, we could have flushed any drugs that were there. We could have got rid of any drugs that were there. But because he ran in the house, that gave them the right to run in there. Rookie ass nigga. You run away from the spot, nigga. You don't run into the spot. But he talked about all this. So when this is going down, I'm sweating. And I guess Pimp is staring at the cop. Next thing you heard whop. And then you seen Pimp knees buckle. And the cop started saying, don't you ever eyeball fuck me. Don't you ever eyeball fuck me. I guess Pimp didn't take it seriously, or he was just dazed and he was out of it from the first smack. The cop smacked him again. Whop! Knees buckle. Yeah. Keep eyeball fucking me. So you know me being an asshole. I say to Pimp, I thought you beat up police and you smacked police. He was like, fuck you. But it's not funny because Pimp did some fuck shit later to me in this shit. So, at this time, I informed Blank, name crossed out that I had a search warrant for the address and described the target of the warrant and posted a copy on the refrigerator. I also explained the warrant to Eberhard, Spencer, and O'Neill, and they stated they understood the contents of the warrant. At this time, an organized search of the was conducted, resulted in the following items being found. 2 bags of crack cocaine recovered by Detective Wildlegger from the right pants pocket in Eberhard. Each bag contained approximately 3 grams. 1 bag of crack cocaine, approximately 2 grams, recovered from the toilet by Detective Cullerfrosh. This bag was thrown by Neil as detectives made entries to the address. The total value of the cocaine recovered is approximately $450. They lied because I never had no drugs in my pocket. I told you earlier on in the story, someone said, hold this, I got someone coming, and they sat it on the table. It was always on the table. I never picked it up from the table because my intention was when the person came, I would have just gave it to him, or if it was somebody for him that come in the house, they would have just picked it up off the table. That was the plan. That's how it was. I never had anything in my pocket. And if I'm being 100% real, remember I told you I had a little something that I stashed before I went to St. Louis. I got rid of it. So all this 2 bags they found, it wasn't 2 bags. So, but anyway, we found 140 cash recovered from Marcus Eberhard right pants pocket. Detective Wildlegger, 160 was cash was recovered from O'Neill's right pants pocket. Total cash seized was $360. That's what I had in my pocket when I came back from St. Louis. Or that's what I made when I came back from St. Louis, because I remember I got a ride from my CT peoples, Mindy and her little sister. And I had to pay them. Yeah, I had money because I had to get some change or borrow the money from John Jay or something. But anyways, a digital scale with cocaine residue recovered from the open kitchen cabinet drawer within reach of Eberhard by Tech. Tobacco packaged materials, baking soda, and a razor blade recovered on top of the kitchen counter in plain view by Detective Lowe. These items are commonly used in the packaging processing of cocaine for sale. See, this how you know the cops is full of shit and they know they full of shit. None of that was mine. Here's how you knew none of that was mine. How did they describe me as selling drugs? I removed the package from my waistband and I chipped pieces. I'm going to say that again. I removed the crack cocaine from my waistband and I chipped pieces. So why the fuck would I need a scale? Clearly, I don't weigh shit. Clearly, none of that shit belonged to me. But you can ask bitch ass nigga K all day what Tommy said when they kicked in the door. Anything you find is mine. I didn't know what that dude had in there. It could have been AKs. It could have been multiple kilos. But I did that so nobody else went to jail. That's what real ninjas do. Right? I save people's family and friends. And guess what the things I get? Dudes act like they don't mess with me. Okay, just so people know, I removed names, but going forward, I'm not gonna be so nice. Dudes had time to say sorry. Dudes had time to show me their alliances. Now it's bag time. Once I put the paperwork, if you want your name to come down, come with a bag. And your bag gotta be hefty. Not no petty shit. Don't insult me. And K all day. I know I take shots at you, but I take nice shots at you. I know about the white girl, West Springfield. I got that paperwork. I got the interviews with the police. You don't want to talk about the white girl in West Springfield, bruh. I talked to D. I talked to the Spanish dudes. I talked to one of the detectives, bro. Remember, you had to use your get out of jail free card, bro. Leave me alone, okay? Don't even respond to me, 'cause I can do you dirty. Y'all wasn't charged with the white girl, but y'all was involved in that shit. And I already done said more than I should say. So I'm letting you know, don't take none of this as offense, because I ain't mad at you. You just a dumbass dude. You just a disloyal ass dude. You ain't choose the side of the nigga that was there for you like your punk ass brother. Y'all just some scary ass dudes. But guess what? Y'all scared of the wrong niggas. But anyway, so they found 2 bags of cocaine recovered by Detective Bala from the right pants pocket of Marcus Eberhart. Each bag contained 3 grams. 1 bag of crack cocaine, approximately 2 grams, recovered from the toilet by Detective Killers. This bag was thrown by Adil as detectives made entry into the address. The total value of the cocaine recovered is approximately $450. We already read about the cash digital scale, all that. The number to this phone... Motorola phone recovered on the kitchen table directly in front of Eberhart by Detective Solar. The number to this phone was 263-9856, which matched the telephone number used by Tom during the investigation. Sony cell phone recovered by Detective Solar on top of the kitchen table by Detective Solar. A house key recovered from Eberhart's left jacket pocket by Detective Latrine. This house key fit in the front door lock to the address. So, Detective Burrow used the key to determine that the key fit the lock. So, let's talk about this key. So, how did I get the key? Auntie gave me the key, right? Because JC Jr. would leave the block and be gone. He would be gone for hours. He would be gone for days. He could be gone for minutes. And then if she didn't have her key, I was always on the block 24/7. I was always there. I started laying up with the chick on the block, and then I was staying up in Forest Park at Chanel's, walking distance. So I was always on the block 24/7, or I could be there 10-15 minutes. So she gave me the key, and it got so bad. One time I had gave Joey JC Jr. her key, and she was mad at me, like, why the fuck you gave him the key? You see, we can't even get in. And if I wanted him to have the key, I would have gave him the key. So, the question is, how did the police know I had the key? Is that a clue on who the informant is? Because they knew I had the key. They went in my pocket looking for the key. How did they know I had the key? If I'm telling you, JC Jr. knew I had the key, Auntie knew I had the key, Kay knew I had the key, CCG knew I had the key. Let's be 100% real. No plays knew I had the key. How can the play know I got the key? Why would I let a person who's buying drugs off of me know I got the key? So that's a hint on who the informant is, because only people that knew I had the key. But I'm not blaming anyone. You hear, you can read it, you see it. I'm filling in the blanks, and that's just what it is. While on scene, Blank noticed that crack cocaine had been recovered inside the address and stated, "That's not my crack." While on the scene, Blank, a name that I blurred out, I told you I blurted out a name. While on the scene, Blank noticed that crack cocaine had been recovered inside the address and stated, "That's not my crack." Blank said, "That's not my crack." I then explained to her who the target of the warrant was and gave her a physical description of the target. And she stated, "Oh, that's Tom," motioning toward Eberhart, who was sitting in the kitchen. After a search of the address, O'Neill and Eberhart and Blank were transported to the police station. Eberhart matched the physical description that had been provided to me by the CRI. Now, once again, everybody in the house matched the description. Just about everybody that hung around the house matched the description. 5'3" to 5'7". scruffy beard, low haircut. 130, 170 pounds. That's broad. Everybody hung in there fit that description. But it hurts when you got Wow on the scene. Blank noticed that crack cocaine had been recovered inside the address and stated, "That's not my crack." I then explained to her who the target of the warrant was and gave her a physical description of the target, and she stated, "Oh, that's Tom," motioning towards Eberhard, who was sitting in the kitchen. After a search of the address, O'Neill and Eberhard was transported to the police station. Eberhard matched the physical description that had been provided to me by the CRI. At the police station, I checked records management system and discovered that Marcus Eberhard had used the name Tommy in the past during past arrests. I was the arresting officer for one arrest, and he provided me with the name of Tommy Johnson. He also used the name Tommy Smalls during another arrest. This information is listed as his aliases names in our department's RMS system. The arrest of O'Neill and Eberhard appears to be within 1,000 feet of the Elias Brooklyn School located at 367 Hancock Street. Spencer was checked for warrants and narcotics and negative results and then released. Now, Spencer was released because my ass claimed everything. If I would have shut up, everybody went in the house. I saved Johnny J. I saved Pimp. I saved Auntie. I saved bitch ass K. And the only reason Auntie went is because she had dubs. That's it. That's all. But everybody was secure, but niggas cheat me like I'm some crab, like I'm some flea, when I'm the realest dude they know. Facts. Let's move on. I think we already read all this. Well, this is the shit I already read. Blah, blah, blah. So that's the end right there. So, as you can see, there was an informant on the case. Allegedly, they told on me. I filled in the blanks. I gave you the stories. I told you why I had work. I told you why I couldn't shoot the undercovers. And this is what happened when they raided 37 Chester Street. So, remember, if you like stories like this, trust me, I got more. I got cases out of Worcester. I got cases out of down south. I got cases upstate. I got cases in the middle of the state. I got cases from Springfield. I got Lil Bro case. I got the case of the guy who killed the people at the bar on the corner of Rifle and Central. The After 5. I got every case you want to know. It's time to separate the real from the fake. It's some phony people out here. It's some fake people out here. And people want to muddy up my name and act like Tommy ain't real. Tommy is definitely one of the real guys out here. So don't you ever forget it. If you're a supporter of the channel, much love and respect. If you one of them haters out here, cut this shit.